So we're about 2.5 years since we first met you on the street.
And I'm back, and I'm still here. And I'm doing things to wake people up, and so are you, and we appreciate it. But I wonder what the viewers are doing besides criticizing. They're excellent at criticizing some of these individuals online. Take that energy and put it towards waking people up, you know, an InfoWar, that's what it is.
That was one of the most viewed videos this summer, is the one we did at the Grand Lodge of Ontario annual meeting.
Oh yeah, I really freaked them out when I was busy standing like this, and at the end I walked away. They're like, oh no, he's doing a pyramid signal, he's signaling everyone. Oh really? Come on guys. Right?
Like, thing I noticed, you weren't wearing an apron.
No, I didn't need to wear an apron for that event. We only wear aprons in lodge or at funerals. Yeah.
So more like a ceremonial thing.
Ceremonial thing. Yeah, that's exactly it.
And the gloves as well?
I usually don't wear gloves. I'm supposed to as an officer. It's not supposed to, but
right.
it's preferred because it's
you make a lot of good
more
points
distinguished, but I'm not a fan of it personally.
Everybody has
so
the right to be themselves.
I try to keep it simple.
Everybody's
just
growing
an apron.
and where they're at. You know, I think all of us at some point have to be ourselves. And sometimes God puts preachers on the streets
Joseph
to be
Smith
themselves
was
too, and to share
a
the
Mason
good, holy
before
word,
he
right?
created the religion of Mormonism. Their signals were almost identical to Freemasonry, and I think just recently, last year, they changed them because everyone who was a Mason knew their signals, so they changed their signs and last year. And then it goes further. When he died, he was on top of a building, and he did like a signal that every Mason would recognize, and so he is a Mason. He was.
How does Freemasonry square with Mormonism then? Are most Masons approving of what's going on, disapproving of what's going on?
We don't really have an opinion on that. As long as you believe in a God and you're not a criminal, that's fine with us.
So a Mormon could be a Freemason?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And a Muslim guy, a Christian guy, a Jewish guy, a Mormon guy, yeah. It's no issue.
What's your intel on Romney and Obama? Are either them or any Canadian politicians you know Freemasons?
I don't talk about people I know who are Masons, but there are a lot of politicians who are Masons.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I haven't heard if Obama was. Like all the guys I know in Prince Hall and stuff, like the Grandmaster, like they don't know whether or not he is. But I do know he carries around a ring with him, Masonic ring that he's had for a long, long time. Have you guys seen his Muslim Creed wedding ring he wears around? It's
I heard about that he started wearing it in university before he even met Michelle Obama.
Before he met his wife, long before, all his buddies would keep asking about, hey, what's that ring about? And he would never really explain, but now we know it's Muslim scripture.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I wonder why he's wearing
God bless
that.
you,
It's a
brother.
very public kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got to wonder how
Well, we heard a couple
robot-like he
good
is,
points from our
how
brother
much
here
this makes
about
Romney fans hate him
presentation.
more. Like, why would he wear that?
You
Even
know,
if he
everybody
believed in that,
presents
why would he
themselves
be
in
so
a way that
obvious
they
about
feel
it?
comfortable.
Well, that'll send all the right-wing bloggers
And,
going crazy.
you know, some people
Yeah, I don't have
dress
any
up
issue with someone being Muslim,
like
but apparently
ghouls
this
and
lady
goblins.
behind does. She's getting mad at them. She's like,
My brother was saying that it doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad person.
what
You know,
kind of
there's
God
some
would
truth
do
to
X,
that.
Y,
You
and
know,
Z?
some people,
It's not
some
God
of
that
us
does it,
here
it's the
around here
people,
walking
right?
around
And everything's
dressing
an
like ghouls and
interpretation. It
goblins
is what you make it. So if you want to
and,
take a
you know, you
religion,
hold a
infiltrate it,
stable
and make it a
job
bad
and
religion, then it is
doing
what you
good
make
in
it.
society.
What about religion and Freemasonry? We had one segment with the Blue Bible. Is there actually a Bible in Freemasonry, a King James Bible, or?
Yeah, it's just a King James Bible. They put a blue cover on it. There's really no difference.
Go if I were to die?
Yeah, I have one.
These are the
It's not-
So do all Freemasons have that?
That, or we, if they're Muslim, we'll give them the Quran, or if they're Jewish, we'll give them the Torah.
Why do you want
Yeah.
to fit into a crowd?
But
with
that's
ghouls
part of
and
the
goblins?
fees. So when you come in,
you
one of
trying to fit
the
into?
fees cover your
You trying to
apron,
fit
your
in
initiation,
closer to
and
satanic-
the whole.
satanic
We call it the
stuff? Is that
sacred
what you're trying to
volume,
fit
or the
into?
volume of sacred
Have you
law.
been
So
lied to or
it doesn't matter what it
deceived by
is,
some
but to
very
you, if
nice
it's important to
satanic
you, then
people
we
to
respect
encourage
that.
you to dabble into the occult? At least
Prince
these
Hall
people
Masons,
are.
that's a black Mason
The
fraternity,
occult
Yes,
is
it
going to
is.
affect your
How
life in the
integrated
long
is
run.
Masonry if there's a Prince
You
Hall
don't want to
Masonry,
play
like
around with
Prince Hall
Satan
chapters in
and
different
think
towns?
that you're going to be
Black
okay.
and white Masons usually separate, or
I
are they
agree.
together?
'cause I used to be a
Yeah, we
satanic
got
priest.
black Masons. We got in my lodge. We got black Masons. I don't know if there's still a need for Prince Hall. This was when Masonry was not so accepting as it is today, where they didn't allow black individuals into Masonry, but that's changed. So I don't know if I feel the need for Prince Hall anymore, but it's still around. We recognize them as our district, Grand Lodge of Canada and the Province of Ontario. We recognize them, but some other jurisdictions don't recognize Prince Hall. I'm not quite sure why.
Only those who want to better themselves that listen to the entire book of Proverbs. And I was learning from the wisest man that
Yeah, in
ever
other
lived,
parts of the world,
Solomon.
women join no problem. So
And you know what he
mostly
said? I'm
it's
gonna
a
read some of the
fraternity for
things that
guys,
Solomon
Blue
said
Lodge Freemasonry, and
in the Bible.
there's areas which are for females, but sometimes Masonry is males and females in other parts of the world.
Are there individual goals for Freemasons who join to try and achieve?
The basic goal that we promote is to take good men and make them better. So that being taking good men, meaning they have a certain faith, so they know there's something bigger out there than just themselves, making sure they aren't criminals. So they're good men, they get interviewed, and make them better just by in terms of education. Like we study history a lot, we study geometry and music, and we do a lot of volunteering and donations. So however you want to interpret that, that's what we do. There's no overarching, world-dominating agenda. And I know a lot of viewers online will say, "Oh, but he's a low-level Mason, whatever." I know the guys all the way in Conclave, and all the 33s. There's no agenda at all. And I know that the guys online are gonna be like, "There is an agenda." It is what you make it. In my lodge, we try to help out, so there's nothing nefarious with us.
Do you have any secrets that you need to keep from people?
Do I have any secrets I need to keep
as part
from
of the
people?
organization? Not your personal life, but as part of the organization, do you have any secrets that you cannot reveal to us or anybody else?
Yeah, so I take an oath to keep the ritual. So the 3 rituals for the 3 degrees. Take an oath not to divulge certain aspects of it. I can tell you a lot of it's based on history, a lot of it's based on King Solomon, but that's as far as I usually like to go.
I got you. So the ritual, is there anything magic about the ritual that gives you superior powers in some way? Like why would it need to be secret? If most people could say some sort of mantra and become better people for it, why would you not share that if that's part of what you're doing?
Yeah, I don't believe in magic, and the viewers who watch this and write comments, they'll probably be like, "Oh, it's all magic." Again, show me the proof. There's no proof, right? Like, what does magic mean? It's a magic trick? There are no tricks. We're very straightforward.
So why would you need to keep that secret? That's all I'm saying.
Oh, so again, that's just based on history and ritual. So if you go back into being an operative Mason, if you were a master Mason, it means you could build a cathedral, and you had certain knowledge, a skill set that you got from working. And if you had just an enter apprentice learn the secrets of, let's say, certain words that divulged them to be a master Mason, and they would have built a cathedral, that's not right, because the cathedral might fall apart. They don't have the expertise. So it's just to distinguish between the 3 different degrees. That's all it is.
Basically, it makes you more powerful.
No, it's not power. It's a form of distinguishing yourselves in the different degrees. That's all. So if I was to go another part of the world, and if I knew these certain signs and symbols of a Master Mason, and I wasn't a Master Mason, I went into lodge, that's deceitful. It's not right.
To some degree, no pun intended, to some degree, it is...
I like that.
Oh, there you go. To some degree, it is about identifying yourself in terms of how seriously you take Masonry and how far up the degrees you are.
That's a good way of looking at it. I like to look at it that way. It's how serious you are about it, how much time you devote to actually spending in lodge and learning.
It's learning ways to communicate with each other that other people can't understand.
Well, we use phrases that from our I guess being in lodge, you just get used to using certain phrases, but it's become part of regular day lexicon. Like, I'm going to give you the 3rd degree. I mean, it's going to give someone a hard time, or level with me, a level, or they're busy blackballing me, right? Those are all Masonic terms that have now fall into our common day lexicon.
Now, do they mean different things to you than they would to most people?
Well, I know the origins of them, so when you vote for someone, you're given a white ball and black ball, and you all have access to it, and you vote with those. And if there are multiple black balls in there, that means the individual gets blackballed. So I know where the origins come from, but it doesn't have a separate meaning to me. Same meaning as you would interpret in that you weren't accepted into a certain area.
Right. You just have the background.
Yeah.
I got you. That's neat. Trying to figure out what the secrets are without getting the secrets.
There are no real secrets.
No real secrets? That's so disappointing. We all expect there to be tons and tons of secrets.
I know. It's deceitful, isn't it? I think that's part of our whole, maybe the recruitment. We got a whole bunch of secrets.
Yeah, well, that's should people join?
Should people join?
Yeah.
If they want to.
Yeah.
If they meet the qualifications.
Yeah.
It's not a mandatory thing. I wouldn't agree to anything that was mandatory.
Qualifications are, all right, so basically no criminal record, you believe in a god of some sort or a superior being, and then the cool factor. If people interview you and go, hey, you're pretty cool, we'd like to hang out with you in our club.
Yeah, like you can't be forced to join. That's another aspect. You have to be 21. You have to be freeborn, because it used to be that if you were a slave, you weren't allowed in. And then there is the interview process. Yeah.
What about in every lodge? Is there a picture of the Queen in every lodge? Is that?
Yeah, there is. We live in Canada, so there's a picture of the Queen in our lodges.
So they wouldn't have that in America then?
No, there isn't. However, we get a lot of American visitors. We have an American flag there. So we do have to do toasts, because it's very formal during the dinners. We do a toast to the Queen and the craft. We do a toast to the office of the President of the United States, not the President. And when they're here, we'll sing the U.S. anthem. And likewise, when we go down there, they will sing the Canadian anthem as us being visitors, out of respect.
Let's just say if stuff hits the fan, where do your loyalties lie? Canada, Freemasonry, another nationality or group or association?
I just follow my gut. If it's right, that's all.
Yeah.
If Canada somehow says everyone has to be mandatory vaccinated, sorry, that ain't happening.
Sure.
That's not happening.
Is there anything from Masonry, from making good men better, from any organizing principles you use, any superior communication techniques that you know that ordinary people can use if they wanted to work together, say in the information war or in some other capacity, to deal with the forces at work that are threatening our way of life?
So what really works for us as Masons? Not quite sure. A lot of lodges have a declining membership, so they're not doing whatever's working. It's not working. So can society learn from us? I hope not, in terms of improving themselves, because a lot of lodges aren't doing well. Mine is. I think what we're doing well is I put in a lot of work. It's effort. There's no substitution for hard work. So if people want to change this world, it's hard work. It's not complaining on your little keyboard. It's going out, interacting, speaking to people, making videos, making proper informed decisions in your life about vaccines and the food you eat. If you're in a career and they say, hey, we need to track everyone and everything they do, well, if you have a say in that, then make an informed decision and say, no, we can't do that because of X, Y, and Z. So for the people to learn from me and my lodge, there's no substitution for hard work.
What about the organizing principle? Do you find with a bunch of guys around you can speak freer than if you could if there were chicks there?
Yes, guys have a way of talking. It's locker room talk. We swear a lot. Not saying that some females don't. It's an equal opportunity, don't get me wrong. But it's just sometimes you're a bit more comfortable. It depends. I mean, there are exceptions to every rule. I'm not going to start generalizing here.
When it comes to, say, political topics, ones where we're dealing with things like the banking system, the healthcare system, corruption in general, do you think it would be easier for guys to talk about this without chicks there? The same way it's easier in general in some ways for guys to talk about this stuff in Masonic lodges without women there?
Yeah, I find on average, just from individuals I talked to about these subjects, they aren't too open to it, but more so guys are. However, the ones that excel in knowing the information are females. So you do get the rarities, and then they seem to be much more informed than the general public.
These politics come up, the New World Order, the big crises.
Yeah, a lot of us are aware of it, of the agenda. A lot of us aren't for it. Last time we did that video, Daniel, two Masons separately came up to me and they're like, hey, we saw you online. So they are also watching your videos. And then they are in the same alignment of thinking as I am, and I didn't even know that. So now when I go to lodges, I can say hi to them, but in a different way, knowing that they know what I know about the New World Order. It's kind of nice, because then I could use certain topics of discussion like vaccination or chemtrails or Hegelian dialectic, and they'll know what I'm saying.
Do you find it easier then to speak about these issues there, not only because you're part of the fraternity, but because of the all-male sort of way it's set up?
Well, and that the fact that they seem to be more aware. So Masons are more aware of the New World Order agenda and not for it when compared to other individuals in the street. So being a Mason has been great for me in that I can have these conversations with individuals who are enlightened, educated, and aware.
This is interesting. If you are considering fighting the New World Order and you want a place to go where you can chat about with some guys comfortably and maybe get to some solutions, then maybe Masonry, ironically, is one of your best bets.
If you're lucky. I mean, my lodge, we're lucky. We're all of the same like-mindedness, but sometimes you got lodges with guys who are in their late 80s, late 70s, late 60s, and they aren't really aware of what's going on. It's more of the younger generation, ones that have access to internet, the ones that don't watch TV. Get rid of your TV.
Feel like introducing yourself?
Sure. Vijay Sarma, independent journalist and activist and philosopher.
And my name's Raul. I do what I can in educating individuals against certain topics such as vaccinations, chemtrails, GMO, and the New World Order agenda in general.